welcome back to podcast. And he's been missing in action, so he said hi. Welcome to our podcast. Where is that girl? So we can have a one night stand. If not, you go home separately. Someone tapped on my shoulder. They're asking for a lighter. I gave him a lighter. I look back, keep staring girls in our private room. And I told her, if you want to leave, you can leave. And she said something like, oh, you're not very good looking. It's like, okay. She gave me her number. I didn't even save it. I realized why I usually failed to sleep with the girls. Our youth is limited.
한국 하면 또 밤 문화를 빼놓을 수 없잖아요. 네, 밤 늦게까지 사람들이 재밌게 많이 놀고 있는데 뭐 관련된 어떤 경험 같은 거 있으실까요?
The city that never sleeps. The nightlife in Korea would be obviously drinking, which involves a lot of soju. Not a big fan. And the other one would be clubbing, just like rest of the world, the clubbing. And we have a nightclub. Nightclub is 콩구리시, and it's a nightclub. But we're gonna talk about that later. With drinking culture, because I do drink, but I cannot tolerate so much. So my experience is quite limited. Or I was in the drinking party event, then I didn't do anything. So nothing much happened. But clubbing is I have a bit more experience in clubbing, because when David and I, we are kind of same age. We are not too far from each other. And when I became an adult, we had this club thing for the first time, because before that club culture, we only had a nightclub, the clubbing thing. So I was very excited. I was in uni in London, and I couldn't wait to come home and hit this club thing, because I had no idea what it is. Because I had no idea what it was, the clubbing in Korea. So I went with my friends. Hip hop was very big back then. So I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing the Iverson jersey, the Philadelphia basketball jersey, thinking I was black. And the hip hop was very big. And it was a hip hop club, the one I went to in Hongdae. Hongdae was also very messy back then as well. And so this is how it works. You pay 10,000 won, 10,000 Korean won back then. And you pay for the ticket, and they give you this wristband. And they give you one coupon of beer or iced tea. And I always said iced tea. Anyway, so we went in, so packed. Literally, you're moving like this. And I was just walking around, checking out girls and seeing other people dancing. Who can dance? Because I can't dance. I just watch people. Because it was a new thing. And someone tapped on my shoulder. So I looked back. Very pretty lady. Tapped on my shoulder. I was like, okay. And she gave me a bottle of beer. A new beer. She didn't drink it. It's like a full beer. It's like, oh, thank you. This club is so nice. And I walked off.
Just done.
Yeah, just
nothing happened.
I thought she was working there because she was so pretty. So she was the staff. I thought she was the staff, and it was so packed as I mentioned. So I was following my friends, but we didn't know where we were going. We were just walking. So we're so squeezed, and she tapped on my shoulder. I was like, oh, thank you, pretty lady. I was like, oh, I wish I could talk to a girl like this. I got the bottle and walked off. And 5 minutes later, we finally got a little seat there. And I was already holding a beer. I was the only one with a beer, because we didn't use that coupon yet. So none of us had a drink. And I had this Budweiser. My friends have been there before, and it was my first time. And they're like, oh, where did you get that beer? I was like, oh, the staff gave me. Well, what staff? Like, do you have a coupon? I was like, yeah, I have a coupon. Well, you have a beer? I was like, yeah, I have a beer. Where's that girl? Like, why do you care? She works here. I was like, no, she doesn't work here. you should get her number. I was like, what? Then she was already gone. Then I remember she looked at me. She looked at me quite funny, because I was like, oh, thank you. And it was so loud and so crowded. And I just thought, wow, what a beautiful lady. And that's how it works in club. Like they give out beers. It's very nice. You pay 10,000 Korean won, you get unlimited beer. I was like, wow, very nice. And then, okay.
What was your purpose of clubbing at the time?
Me, I wanted to hook up. I wanted to get a girl.
But you didn't.
Yeah, I know. I thought she was working there. Like, so pretty. Oh my God. My friend wanted to slap me. Yeah. I am slow as snail. If a girl is interested in me, she has to tell me directly, like word by word. Otherwise, I don't get it. Because I expect least out of them. Because it was more than 10 years ago. Looking back, and if I'm looking at this dude, and this girl taps his shoulder and gives him a beer, and he goes, "Oh, thank you for the beer. Can I get you anything?" Then they go to the bar and talk and exchange a number. That's how it works, in my opinion. That never happened to me, but yeah. Because girls in that, some of them very pretty, some of them like, oh no. But she was very pretty, that's why. I was like, wow. Also, she looked a little bit older than me, like Nuna. It's like, wow. Because I was very young. Like freshman year in uni. It's like, wow. Girls in Hongdae is amazing. And they give you free beer. What a charity.
여자들은 가끔 입장료 안 내기도 하잖아요.
Like sometimes they let the girls in for free because they need girls, and boys get excited and spend more money for them. So it's a good sales for the club. But the thing is, you never learn your lesson. Like that kind of thing happened to me a lot, actually. Not a lot, but a few more times in my life. Because we Koreans, we party hard, although I cannot party as much as I wanted to because I'm not a big drinker. And also, I don't really know how to talk to girls at night. Like when I go to, like picking up girls, I'm not very good at. Like if you sit down with me, have a one-on-one conversation, I can talk. But like picking up at the bar, at the parties, I don't know what to say. So anyway, Koreans, we party very hard. We study hard, work hard, and party hard, drink hard. And that applies the same. The rule is the same in London, in Korean society. So when I was in uni back in London, so they have this this union of Korean students in London universities. It's quite huge, and we take turns. Like for example, the Korean students in Queen Mary, they hold a party, and all the Korean students go there. Obviously, we pay, but drink is supposed to be a little bit cheaper, and it was during the day, never weekend, so it's cheaper to rent the place. So we do that like I don't know, every other month. And I went almost every party, although I didn't know how to party. Just I was standing there like watching people like a Buddha. I stare at them. I don't know what to say. So, but I always had a good time, like staring people because I'm a creep. Like nice. Never talk to them first because my boys and us we are not smooth. So like okay, the girls are nice, and it's time to go home. I was like okay, let's go. But I remember because I mentioned I never learned my lesson, right? Because after that the beer thing, it was like 2 years later in London. Probably my last year in London, like last year of university. I still went to party. And we went to this party held by St. Martin. A lot of girls there. So I couldn't miss it. So I went. Me and my friend, we were leaning at the... we were upstairs looking down at girls like a creep. Pretty fresh girls. As usual, this guy, he doesn't know how to talk to girls. Me... I think I do, but not in the club. So we always go, and he has my beer too. So he drinks, I watch like a creep, and come home, right? And we used to live very close. Anyway, so that was another day of doing nothing party night. So St. Martin went there. So same fucking thing happened. Same thing happened. So we were looking at girls. Someone tapped on my shoulder again. this dude never learned his lesson. Someone tapped on my shoulder. I looked back. I remember 4 girls, very, very pretty girls. They're like, oh, excuse me. All of them Korean. All of them Korean. So it's like, what? And they go, a lighter. They're asking for a lighter. But I don't smoke. So my boy, he smokes. Then I tapped him because it's so loud. We don't talk, we just stare. So I tapped him. He's like, what? It's like, he was like, oh, okay. And he looked at me like, lighter. And he gives me lighter. I gave him lighter. I look back, keep staring girls. And my friend gave me a look like, what? And then I looked at them. They're not even smoking. They were holding the lighter, right? So rude. Like they asked me the lighter they don't need. So, can I have a lighter back? Like, and then I gave it to him. Kept staring. And then so we went out after like half an hour. And he was like, dude, you're so fucking stupid. What? The girls. Yeah, the girls are fucking strange, right? Like they don't even smoke and they ask for a fucking lighter. How rude. No, they want to talk to you, dickhead. It's like, whoa, okay. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame. The problem is, imagine like, let's say that I'm in the club. Sometimes my boy goes to toilet or whatever. So I'm alone, still standing, staring at people. And something that happened, and I don't even remember. I remember because they told me. Because like the beer thing, my friend had to go at me, like calling me stupid. So I remember. The lighter, he had to go at me, calling me stupid. So I remember. But the rest of the time, I have no idea what happened. So I always wanted to. I always wanted to get the number for like from like pretty girls or whatever. But never happened. So I'm so damn slow. So I'm not made for nightlife. They have to tell me like, hey, let's have coffee. It's like, okay. But they don't do that, right? They do the like, I don't know, like almost like a sign language. I don't know how to read them. So man has needs. So do I. But when I go out, I want to come home. That's the thing. But I have these needs. Like I wanna hook up. But at the same time, I want to come home. So when I get the number, I feel quite safe. So I can meet her again. So one night stand is difficult for me. I want to sleep in my house. Okay, so I'm sharing a story, and this happened multiple times to me. Another slow as snail incident. I hate myself. Anyway, so I went to a nightclub. I went to that nightclub, and I got a number from this girl, very pretty. I think she was very nice, as I remember. She was very nice. So I wanted to meet her, but I didn't want to pursue like a one night stand because I wanted to go home and sleep. Good sleep. Well deserved shut eye. So I got the number, excited, text her, and a few days later we had a lunch, good coffee, and things were going pretty well. And I thought she was kind of a good girl, not up for one night stand kind of thing. Like I figured I couldn't move too fast. So I tried to hold her hands, and she refused. And the way she refused, she refused my hand as if I just wiped my ass with my hand. Like she really didn't like it. So okay, that's one way to refuse the guy, which is fine because the message was very clear. Like I don't want you to hold my hand. So okay, so that's it. Because you don't like me, I can take the rejection. Okay, so we said goodbye and came home, and I texted saying goodbye. Like have a good night, bye bye. So I thought it was done, and like 2 days later, she texted me like, "What's up? Like why don't you like call me? Like you refused my hand, and what is this? I'm still confused."
You want to talk about the 내숭?
Right.
The kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so yeah, you're right. David is right. She was playing games, like acting innocent. But she rejected me. When I get rejected, I respect that. So I never go back. Guys, I respect their choices. Like I want to hold your hand or like maybe kiss. And she's like, oh, go away. Message is very clear. I don't try again.
이게 거절했지만 거절이 아니었던 거죠.
Oh my God. I'm actually, I want to know if that kind of thing happens though. Like a girl rejects boy's kiss or hand, but she still wants to see him like 3 more times. I don't think I hurried. Maybe I did. I don't know. Because we met in a club. Things could have gone really fast, but I didn't. So I got a number, asked her to meet me a few days later. And then, not gonna lie, that was the second time we were seeing each other and trying to hold hand. Maybe it was too early for her, maybe. But I didn't try to kiss her. But she rejected me. That's okay. And the way she rejected me as well. As if my hand is a shit.
약간 그 여자는 그날 밤에 바로 자기랑 더 안 있고 집에 간 거 자체를 약간 한 번에 거절로 느꼈을 수 있어. 그래서 한 번 튕기고 싶었을 수 있어. Maybe.
Maybe she wanted to sleep with me, right?
And
On the first
last
day.
night, yeah.
Oh, is it like a revenge? She rejected me.
Kind of.
Oh, okay. That's a little complicated to me. I like straightforward.
You should watch K-drama.
Oh yeah, I need to. But it's a lot of work though.
From K-drama.
Oh, the playing game. I don't like Korean girls playing games. I wish they were honest. It's very confusing, right? Very confusing.
Okay, let's talk about nightclub.
Okay, so nightclub is nightclub. So it's 콩구리치, but nightclub is different. So it's like a normal club, but it has a separate room. I guess normal clubs also have rooms, but the purpose is completely different. It is probably safe to say that not many people go to nightclub to dance or drink. Girls and boys, they go there to hook up, meet people. So there are waiters. They're the male waiters. They grab the girls from the dance floor, drag them into the private room where the boys are. And the girls, they are being dragged. It's not nice, but they know what's happening. So when they go to nightclub, they kind of expect that. So they kind of also they do this like, oh, like I'm being dragged. But when they go in, it's like, oh, they're so comfortable and pour the drinks themselves and blah, blah, blah. Girls like that because in the private room, you pay a lot of money, but they usually have like a good whiskey. That's how they make money in the club. And I used to prefer nightclub because in the room it's quiet, although it's a little bit expensive. You can really talk to people. But in club, it's so loud, right? And a lot of girls, they do play games, but at the same time, a lot of them also don't play games. They can be quite straightforward.
Really?
Yeah. Not
In that room.
in that room. At least they don't hide the fact that they are here to drink for free. Let's say that 3 girls, oh, let's go to nightclub today, and they go and they know that they'll be separated because different waiters they drag them to different rooms. So they know they'll be separated, but when they want to go home, they either call each other up and meet outside, or they follow the boy and spend the night in a hotel or motel. The girls and the boys usually have agreements among themselves. Maybe I'm gonna spend the night with a girl or a guy, so we don't have to go home together. They have this agreement. But sometimes, like innocent girls, they don't like that. They have to come home together. No, I don't do one night stand. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but it's a basically the place where people hook up, kind of officially, acting like they don't want to, but that's what they want. And if you want to go to one of those nightclubs, you'll feel quite disrespected. Because those waiters, they get really physical. They grab your wrist and drag them. It's quite rude, right? But that's the culture, and a lot of girls, they know it. So they kind of expect that, right? Although it's not nice. All of my stories are quite outdated. But the basic structure is probably the same. Yeah. So before this meeting, our team and David and his crew, we're talking about our experiences, and I told them that there was a girl who kind of insulted me constantly in my room, in our private room. And I told her, if you want to leave, you can leave, because girls want to leave, and a lot of boys don't. They don't let them. It's not as offensive as it sounds, but they're like, oh, but like, please stay, please stay. And she says stuff like, oh, your Korean name like sounds so old fashioned. So your name is so outdated. It's like, what? Okay, that's one way to speak to people. And she said something like, "Oh, you're not very good looking." It's like, okay, I told her, you can move the room, right? And she wouldn't move. I mean, and she was not drinking. It's like, are you here to drink? It's like, no, okay, I don't drink. It's like, why are you here? Like, if you're not happy, you can go. And she wouldn't leave. And she gave me her number. I didn't even save it, but I had it on my phone. And I was like, it's really weird. And then David told me it's a gimmick they do in Nightclub. I never knew. I just found out today. They intimidate you apparently, because you meet so many girls, so they want you to remember her.
She just wanted to draw your attention.
Okay, draw my attention. Okay, that's weird, because she gave me a number, and I didn't call her obviously, and she texted me like a few times like, oh, when are we meeting? It's like, you're not meeting a guy with old-fashioned names. Like, I'm not interested. Because I found it very rude. But David said it's a strategy. Yeah, she did get my attention though. Because I still remember her, but I don't like her. She was quite pretty, but like so rude. So David's friend, he met a girl in a club, and she introduced herself as an English teacher. And David's friend, he registered the English academy to study, and the girl was the teacher in the same place. Something similar happened to me as well when I went to Nightclub. My friend, he had a hookup with this studious flight attendant, but they say that a lot. Like they say that they are all flight attendants. They all say that they are all nurses. Quite typical. So I didn't really listen to her or whatever. But also she was not my cup of tea. Yeah. So so I didn't pay attention very much. But she sat next to me, so I remember her face. And another flight attendant. Okay, whatever. And at the time I was in uni back in London, and it was in Korea, obviously. And on my flight back to London, she was serving my drink. What a small world. That was only like 3 or 4 days before my flight, and I called her like, "Can I have a water, please?" And she gave me water, and I was staring at her, and she goes, "Hmm." I was like, "So you really are a flight attendant?" It's like, "Excuse me?" It's like, "You're not a liar." It's like, "Hmm." Oh shit! But there's nothing to be ashamed of. But I was making a joke. Then she moved to the other side, so she doesn't have to serve me. I didn't mean anything bad by it, but it was just friendly hello. And I also made a couple of friends. Like we're kind of supposed to, so they call all this meeting like dragging girls. We call it booking. Like when you book a room, we use that konggurishi. So I had a booking with this Korean girl, and she was very interesting. She was not my cup of tea, but she was very interesting, like very smart, intelligent, and I really wanted to be friends. So I asked for a number, and I told her that I'm not interested in that way. Like, can we hang out? And we did. And we did, and kept in touch. And actually, she introduced me the Boots girl. Yeah, they're best friends. They're still best friends. But this girl is a good girl. I still like her. I still respect her. And she became someone. She runs a designer brand in Korea. She started a brand, and it became really big. People asking how many exes I have. A lot of episodes, they are from the same people. Yeah.
Tell us the truth. How many?
I lost count, to be honest. I lost count. And because I've been single for so long, and I've been single and celibate from Squid Game 1. Like yesterday, I cried cum yesterday. And I caught myself shaving, and cum came out. And I went to sauna yesterday. I'm gonna stop. I'm learning a lot today about this, and from all these learnings, I realized why I usually failed to sleep with the girls. Anyway, so one of our crews,
He's kind of expert.
he's an expert. When I was listening to this guy's story, I remember that I majored business strategy in graduate school, and I learned nothing. And so this is how he did from our crew. He did at the nightclub. It's always a team of 3, always. And one guy, he has to be very, very good looking, hot as balls, or beefcake, whatever. And second guy, he's a funny guy. And so their story is that he owns a shop and he sells clothes. And the last one is the smart one. Let's say SNU / like Harvard like smart guy. So it's all lie, except for the handsome guy. He's handsome anyway. So they make up the story, and they get the booking with 3 girls, and you have to really hurry because they usually have a beer and go. You don't want to say stuff like, oh, how old are you? You come here often. Never say that kind of stuff. I just learned that today because I said all those things and they always left. And they say, it's okay. So the opening phrase is, oh, what you're wearing, I think I have that in my shop. And that catches their attention. It's like, no, it's not. Oh, I sell exactly the same top. Like, no. And then they don't leave, and you got their attention. And then you introduce, because they wouldn't leave because of the good-looking guy. So they're kind of stuck, but this guy is kind of funny. Like he's very witty, makes a lot of jokes, blah, blah, blah. And then they also praise this guy because he's so fucking smart. Like he's in Harvard / SNU Korea, like a top school. And you make this character, so all of you are quite interesting. So what you really want to do is not staying there, but to ask them to go for the second round. You usually go to like a beer place or samgyeopsal place, if you will, soju or beer, whatever. So let's move because this place is loud and the competition is crazy. So you want to just grab them, and you go, and you continue to entertain them. Oh my God, it's so much work. Come to think of it, it's so much work. But again, like you gotta make some effort to get the girls. Anyway, so you are at this bar having a good time, and then all of you go to toilet and have a meeting. You got to pick the girl you want, so you can focus on one person now. So the strategy changes. No more teamwork. Let's focus on individual. So we can take them home / motel. So we can have a one night stand. And so only 2 of you talk to each other. Yeah. And then if they click, they sleep together. If not, you go home separately. Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
I call myself slow as snail, but also I'm lazy as cow. I'm super lazy. That sounds like a lot of work. Even if my friends back then suggested, I don't think I would have done it. But you have to be a good storyteller to convince them. I don't think I'm a bad storyteller, but when it comes to lie, it's a little bit difficult. It's tricky because you have to be very confident, right? You have to be very smart when you lie. And when you want to be a liar and a good storyteller, these 2 things is very hard to combine, I think, in my opinion. Yeah.
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah. I can tell my story just fine. But if I want to like be someone else to tell a story, I think it shows. I'm not that good. But I think our crew's friends and that guy, I think they're very smart. You have to be very smart to scam people, right? It's kind of a scam, but it's not, right? Just having a good night. So I was told what happens in the bathroom when they're in the second round. They have a meeting I mentioned, and they have to be in agreement, like which one they're gonna focus on. And obviously, there's always the best looking girl, right? The fittest. So they have to be in agreement because they always wanna have that one night stand with the fittest.
Sometimes make a Argument.
Yeah, he said that they used to argue a lot because they always want the same girl. I should have done it, but it's a lot of work. You gotta be a hard worker. The Konglish term I have to explain is one already did booking in nightclub. Nightclub itself is also Konglish, although it's English. So another term is hunting. It's like hunting, but it means picking up girls. There's a place called hunting pocha. Like hunting, I explained. Hunting pocha is like a drinking place. So you go there, and you will see. I haven't been there myself, but heard a lot of stories. So there are tables, a lot of tables, but they're usually are not together. But you join them, and the restaurant, they help you to join. That's why it's called hunting pocha, drinking place. In summer, that happens a lot on the beach. At night, obviously. The places like 대천, 해운대, 속초, like holiday places.
Have you been there?
Of course.
For drinking.
For drinking, no. Picking up girls, yes. When I was at the same time as when I went to the club, and the tap on the shoulder, it's like free. Thank you for the free beer at that time. Slow ass. So around the same time, in summer, because it was summer holiday, so I went to the club and I went to the beach with the boys, and there are a lot of group of people, girls just standing there, waiting for the boys to talk to them. So obvious, and the boys like looking for the target. And it was a big group of us, and none of us had big balls to talk to the girls. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm always okay with the rejection, especially when I'm in a team. I'm okay. So I went to these 4 girls. We were a lot though. We were like six or 7, and I just wanted to just spend some time with the girls on the beach. So I approached the girls and like, oh, can you you want to have like beer or soju on the beach, or in our place is a big place we have. You want to join us? It's like they looked really bored. And the funny thing is, it's a common mistake the men make. Girls who are not as pretty as other girls, we think there's a bigger possibility that they're gonna say yes. No, I know that now, but I was young back then. I was like 21, 22, so I didn't know any better. So I found a group of girls who looked me quite mid, and so excuse me, we were like 6 of us, and you want to have a drink with us. Luckily, they said yes. It's like, whoa, okay. So my boys are there, and one of my boys, he was very scary looking, and they saw him, no, and they walked off. And he was hurt big time. we teased him for like years, and they were like, they saw the possibility, right? When I did it, and they asked me to do it. Like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. So I don't want to be used. So that was it. So we didn't have any luck. Yeah, like a hunting, booking. I didn't have much luck because I'm fucking slow. But girls who play games, like, I don't know. But the thing is, like, tapping my shoulder and giving me a beer is quite obvious, but it's just so slow. If she says something like, oh, like, you want to hang out? I was like, oh, yes. But like, I don't know. It has to be verbal. Like, they have to tell me. But otherwise, it's difficult. So I didn't have much luck. A lot of rejections, though. A lot of rejections. And when they play a game, I always took it as a rejection. In Korea, there's a saying, no tree remains unfallen if chopped 10 times. It means that you have to keep chopping. And she will say yes. I hated this. I always hated this saying. No means no, right? I hated it. I hate girls playing games.
남자들이 나를 너무 만나고 싶어서 이렇게 절절매는 그 모습을 보고 싶어하는 그런 마음도 좀 있긴 한 것 같아요.
David has a very good point. He said that girls wants to see that desperation in men, that we want them. But me, I prefer telling them, I want you. Can we go out? And they say yes or no, and no means no. That's what I want. In Korean expression, when we say that girls flick off the boys, when they approach the girls, they flick off. It means that they reject them, but it's not really a rejection. they want the boys to come back. So 튕기다, we say that, flick, like that. And I always tell the girls, like, if you refuse me, if you flick me off, I will go to the moon. I'm not gonna come back. I hate it. Always so tiring. Which is why I'm single, I guess. I don't know. Because it's so much work. I don't like playing games. I wanted to point out that I say that I don't drink a lot. But I can drink. A couple of wine is fine. But it's just that I don't enjoy drinking. And also when I say that, I never meant drinking is bad and having a good time is bad. Like, because of all the comment, I read a lot of comments written by people who are slightly older than me, and a lot of them were reminiscing their past, and got me thinking. Drinking and party is not such a sin, right? Like you want to have a good time, especially if you're single. You should go out more. Although I'm not doing that. I'm not old, but I always wish I had more fun, which means I should do that now. But at the same time, I'm not doing it. So it's a mixed feeling. But what I want to say is that our youth is limited. The men trying to get the girls and girls playing games, I think it's all the process of trying to have a good time. And I think it's a good thing because man has needs. And that goes the same for the girls, for the women. I thought of this poem by William Butler Yeats, a drinking song. Wine comes in at the mouth and love comes in at the eye. That's all we shall know for truth before we grow old and die. I lift the glass to my mouth. I look at you and I sigh. 술은 입으로 들어오고 사랑은 눈으로 들어오네. 우리가 늙어서 죽기 전에 알게 될 진실은 그것뿐. 잔들어 입에 가져가며 그대 보고 한숨 짓네. If you have good stories of summer flings, please do share. I read them all. We read them all. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.